Alan Davies, and this is As Yet Untitled, the show that's completely unrehearsed, unprepared, unscripted, undervalued, in my view. And hopefully not unrepeatable, because it's got to be broadcast on Dave. That's the scripted bit. It's been prepared. Now, joining me tonight, we have four very funny guests. They're going to come on with some stories. Don't know what they are, but they should be entertaining. From those, we will find a title for the show. It's a small ambition, but it's often beyond us. So please really welcome my guests. Welcome. Here they all are. We have Victoria Coren-Mitchell is here. Lovely to see you, Victoria. Now, Victoria Coren-Mitchell went to Youre Geller's wedding and was an Archbishop's groupie. Victoria Coren-Mitchell is here. Rob Beckett is here. Rob Beckett is finger-licking bad and you wouldn't like him when he's angry. Rob Beckett is here. Al Murray, welcome to Al Murray. Al Murray is now a little more wary of hecklers. And Luisa Omielan is here. Great to have you here, Luisa. Luisa Omielan was at Emma's Round the Block. Welcome, all of you. You've all got your beverages.
Yeah, I've got two, mate. Water and a Coke.
Water and a Coke. Oh, a lovely title for a book. And could we get you a bigger wine glass? Is that acceptable?
You definitely could. I'm going to start immediately.
What's in that pink thing, by the way?
I've got no idea, but it's so nice because normally when you're gigging and you go to shows in the dressing room, they always have either beer or wine. And I don't like beer or wine. I'm like, can I get Cosmo, please? And normally they're like, no.
No, you won't get
You
Cosmo.
can have some water. Whereas here, I'm really pleased they've given me a Cosmopolitan.
But, I mean, is it just... It looks like Benylin.
Do you want to try some?
Whoa!
What's in the Cosmopolitan?
It's like...
You don't know?
No.
I believe it contains grapefruit juice, to which I am violently allergic.
Oh, you really?
Yes.
Grapefruit
Yes,
juice.
it would
Now
cause
you
me
mention
to
it, there
have
is a bit of
liver
that.
failure. Yeah, so
Oh.
it's really weird,
Wow.
grapefruit.
Yeah.
It's one of those. It's an anomaly as a fruit. It's like the
Kryptonite.
okapi.
It's like a shit orange,
You know,
isn't it?
it's not right.
Doesn't it make you lose weight?
Well,
Yeah, well,
quite
that's
rapidly,
it.
yeah.
You keep being sick, you've got no liver.
And die.
Is it just grapefruit? Because I'm allergic to some fresh fruits. My mouth goes all swollen up. It's called oral allergy syndrome. So some fresh fruits make me go... So, like, you know, like in Friends, when Ross had a kiwi and he got a big swollen mouth? So I had that. I had a bag of cherries and my head nearly fell off. I went to anaphylactic shock. My mum thought I was trying to get out of going to school. So I was like, Mum, my head's all big. I don't know what's happening.
And she's like, what's the news there?
Yeah, exactly. Well, she was watching EastEnders, so she was busy. So I rang my dad, who was at work. And then... he went, well, go downstairs and pass the phone to Mum. And I went down there, and then before Mum even spoke to my dad, she put the phone down and took me to hospital because I had a big Miss Piggy head. Because it had all swollen up.
Were you struggling to breathe? Did you have a
Yeah,
swollen
so I
tongue?
couldn't breathe. Yeah, so I had a swollen tongue, and then I sort of blacked out in the car on the way there, and then I woke up on a hospital bed and had, like, some antihistamines.
So enjoy that drink.
Yeah, so yeah.
Hey, I think it's red fruit in it. I think it's cranberry and orange and Cointreau and something like vodka, I think. So I think you'll actually be all right.
Really?
I mean, you could risk it if you want, but I don't think you...
I'll take your word for it.
Before we came in the studio... we were
the best
talking
bit, innit?
about Kanye... I can't get...
Kanye West!
Kanye West. I can't get it out of my head. So can we just talk about it now and then it will be gone?
Okay. Basically, Kanye West was having a Twitter row with a rapper that he doesn't really get on with, and that rapper now goes out with his ex-girlfriend, Amber Rose, and he started having a go at Amber Rose, going, you're a stripper, you're this, being quite derogatory. And then Amber Rose replied something along the lines of, oh, look at Kanye kicking off. Is he annoyed because he's not having a finger up his arse anymore? And it was like...
Is that right?
Like, where's the effect? Saying, what, are you upset because you're missing having your bum played with? But my favourite bit was Kanye's response. Like, he even bothered responding, and he responded being like, guys, just so you know, I don't like a finger up my arse. Which I think is brilliant. Like,
Do you think he tweeted that or his PA?
No, he tweeted it, but you're like, you're Kanye West.
People are in there!
How embarrassing.
It's arse.
David Cameron Cameron said nothing when the pig thing came out.
Nothing.
Nothing. And
No.
Kanye is like, guys.
Cameron had the tweet ready to go.
Yeah. But imagine,
Go, don't
Stop
send
it.
it! Don't send it, Dave!
The thing is, though, if you've broken up with someone and you're having a public... it isn't the first thing you bring up, is it? Do you miss having your bum played with? I mean, you know...
But the reason she took it there is because he started insulting her kids. So he started
All
saying, "Oh, you've got kids now with a stripper. You're going to be stuck with her for 18 years. Good luck being stuck with a stripper for 18 years." So he started getting
Very nice,
really
is it?
low. So then she just went, "Do you know what? Here's the bum thing.
Yeah.
Have that.
I'm done."
Just threw a phone
Done.
in a
Some
bin.
sort- yeah.
Yeah.
You're done. My work here is done.
But then what I love as well
I'm off Twitter.
is that now, since then, Kim Kardashian, who's married to Kanye, has since done a selfie with her and Amber Rose in a selfie in a picture being like, "We're cool, we both..."
I thought you were going to say she's done a selfie with her and Kanye's bum.
Like this.
Yeah.
He's a happy boy now.
That would break the internet.
Someone's cheered up.
When we were little, there's this place, these friends we always used to go to, and the mum made a terrible spaghetti bolognese. It was really horrible, but we were very well brought up. We knew to say thank you very much, that was delicious. So she made the spaghetti bolognese every time we went, every single time. So maybe he feels he has to say, "I don't like having my bum played with," or every time he goes home with somebody, he's going to be served up the same dish, as it were. So just say something right now.
I like the logic to that. I like the logic.
It was the denial of it, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a denial. It was just funny. You go, "You're Kanye West. You don't need to say that. Like, you're Kanye West."
This is the thing that annoys me about him. They've got a daughter called North, but then the second one isn't a pun. That bothers me like towels not being hung neatly. The girl is called North, so the son needs to be called, Wild. But it's not the son's called something like Philip. I mean, it's
Saint.
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 Sorry, it's Saint.
Saint.
You can't be called Northwest and Saint West. You'd spend your life going, "What is it? What is the? What is the?" You know, like there's a cereal called Oat So Simple.
Yes.
And I spend quite a lot of time trying to work out what that pun is. It's so simple. Oh, it's so simple. Oh, so simple. I don't know what they're. It's definitely a pun.
I did a crisp promotion for Comic Relief 4 years ago with some other comics, and we all had flavours named after ourselves. That was the gimmick, and the idea was that the person who sold the most crisps would win. Now Stephen Fry was one of those people, so he won, right? So that was all academic, and his Stephen Fry Up was the name of his crisps, right? That works. That works.
Yeah.
Jimmy Con Carne, absolutely,
See,
that
yeah,
works.
we've done that.
Yeah, steak and al pie was me. And then, Frank, wait for it, Frank Roast Dinner.
What did you say? Is that Frank Skinner?
That was Frank Skinner. And that does not work.
No, it does not work.
Not when you've got Stephen Fry Up, Jimmy Con Carne, steak and al pie, which I think works perfectly well, Frank Roast Dinner. It's shit. I can say that now. We raised the money. It's a long time ago.
Who came second? Do we know?
We were all told we'd come second.
I'm racking my brains for food stuff that sounds more like Skinner than roast dinner.
Or
I'm not
Frank.
sure there is
Or
one.
just Can't think of
Just
one.
get a different comic. One that works. I mean, that's easier, isn't it?
You can watch the rest of this episode on UK TV Play. And now for some extra stories that didn't make the show. I've never seen Dirty Dancing.
It's brilliant.
Oh,
mate.
it's
It's
I've
brilliant.
never
out.
seen it.
Oh my God, what is wrong with you two?
Not interested.
Just missed it.
It's like the best film of all time.
Yeah.
It's
It's a
amazing.
great
It's
film.
got so many classic
Is it the
moments.
best film
yeah, it's
of
like
all
a modern
time?
day. It's like.
Yeah,
It's
but
like.
when they do those 10 films, it's Battleship Potemkin, Citizen Kane. You know, those,
Battleship Potemkin?
Well, you know, when they
What
get
is
those.
that? You just made one up.
It's one of the 10 best films. You know when they get those
No,
films,
it's
best 10
not.
best
No,
films
it's
of all
not.
time.
It's
Well, no,
not.
I'm not agreeing with the list. I'm just saying they do these lists.
Not on any list I've
Nonsense.
seen.
They're
Oh,
idiots.
shut your face. That's what we call this show. Oh, shut your
It's
face.
on the list that Al has scrawled on his bathroom wall.
No. When you get those lists of the 10 best, you know, they're so boring, those lists. And Dirty Dancing isn't on it. That's all I'm
Well,
saying.
it should be. It should be Dirty Dancing, The Lion King, and Sister Act 2.
I'll give you the top.
That should be.
Back in the Habit.
That's the first one.
No, the second one's Back in the Habit. They're not Back in the Habit for the first one. They can't be.
Oh, I thought
In the
it was...
Habit for the
Act,
first time.
And then it's Sister Act
Oh,
2.
don't tell me
Back
about
in the
Sister.
Habit.
I know Sister Act. I just don't know the titles.
I would have said.
Wait a second.
No, I know the content.
Back
I
in the
just don't
Habit
know
is a brilliant title.
Yeah, so
They
was
took the rest of the day off when they thought of that. Oh, high fives all round. What about...
I'll call it the Oh Happy Day one.
Oh, okay.
Because they sing "Oh Happy Day" in it, and he sings a high note, and it's epic. Just watch the film.
Does that happen in Battleship Potemkin? Does it?
It's a silent film.
Exactly.
It's a silent
And
film.
it made
No
number
one
one.
sees anything.
You've heard of it.
Lazy,
You're
innit?
pretending you've never heard of Battleship.
I'm not pretending I haven't heard of it. I'm pointing out that it lacks the high notes in "Oh Happy Day."
Is it Eisenstein?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Film O level, 1982.
You know what I mean? Those you know those
dated then.
you know those film critic lists that always have Citizen Kane on them, and you think, oh, I've seen that, and it's like it's a bit long.
Kane's always number one, isn't
Yes,
it?
on
I
a
love
bit in
that
the
you say
middle.
Eisenstein there. It's very interesting to see you in this environment. You know, do people know Alan Davies knows everything in the world, but he's regularly on a show with Stephen Fry.
He's got backup.
So
I have no
he
backup
knows
at all.
everything in the
At
world.
any point in my life. I'm like Rob in many ways. You're acting on your own. It's like, I've only even got a Polish woman behind me hitting me with a belt. I've got nothing.
Floating around hoping for the best.
The Godfather.
Yeah. Godfather 2. It's always Godfather 2, the greatest sequel ever made.
The Blues Brothers and Animal House, that's it.
No, they're not on it.
Well, you don't need any other
Oh,
films.
no, yeah,
They're the
no,
only
yeah,
four films
yeah,
you need.
Yeah, I'd agree with
And
that.
Miss
no.
Congeniality.
Yep.
I like Sandra Bullock. I've always liked Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, she was good in that film that she was by herself. The one where she was in space.
Oh, yeah, Gravity.
Gravity.
Yeah.
I've got a theory about that film.
Ah, that's good. Theory.
What if?
No, like theory. I thought it was a pun.
You see? Now, I know the content, but I don't know the title. Is it called Theory?
No, it's called Gravity. And I was like, oh, the theory of. And then
Oh,
you
I see.
said theory. And I was
did
like,
you-
oh, that's
That's
good.
Come up with
brilliant.
the so simple
That
one.
is brilliant. That is brilliant.
It's you because you link things all the
Frank
time.
roast
So
dinner.
you said Gravity and I was thinking theory and then you said theory.
Why is it my fault?
Because you're good at like picking, you're good at linking things.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks,
So
mate.
my brain started doing it when
Yeah,
you said
that's very
Gravity.
good.
I went theory and then you said it and I was like,
What's the theory about
My
the
theory
film?
is, what if none of it happened? I mean, obviously none of it happened as a film, but within the terms of the film, what if it's all a metaphor? This is about a woman who lost a child. What if the whole thing is her sitting in a chair and the whole thing is a metaphor for the journey to recovery? She goes through space, things blow up, she's alone, she's going mad, it's the worst thing that ever happened, but just eventually she's crawling through the water thinking she might be able to stand up.
That's
yeah.
too much for me.
I think, yeah.
I fell asleep watching Inception. I woke up, I thought my head had fallen off. I didn't know where I was coming or going, what was a dream, if I was hungry, thirsty,
I
tired.
can beat that. Listen to this. I went to the Melbourne Comedy Festival in 1995. I was in one room, next door was Lee Evans in the other room. Neither of us were getting anybody in. We'd see each other every night going, how many did you get, 25 or something? I mean, it was horrible. And I was in a hotel for 3 weeks, there's no internet, no mobiles, and there's only 3 films on in the hotel. The Flintstones, on the TV package, right? The Flintstones is the worst film ever made, by a street. Right,
come back
True
to that.
Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger, which is a brilliant film,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's not, it's quite light. And the other one was Time Cop, with
Jean-Claude
Jean-Claude
Van
Van Damme, in which he goes back in time to prevent, I think, his wife getting killed. Anyway, the point about Time Cop is there's a lot of toing and froing, and at no point in the... It took me... I was about 2.5 weeks into my 3-week stay before I saw the beginning of the film. I'd come in each night and turn it on, and it would be at a different point in the film, and I had no idea what was going on. It was the most impenetrable... How on earth? He's dead. Why are they arguing? They're in the shopping centre again. The girl wasn't there last time. I had no idea. He'd suddenly be in a machine being fired in the future. Where the fuck's he going now? What is it? I didn't even know it was called Time Cop for the first week. And then one day I came in and it was just starting. And I was going, oh! He's travelling in time! No one to talk to. You couldn't ring anyone. I'm out of my mind. It is. I really enjoyed it though. I'm a big fan of Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's not in the top 10 of anyone's.
No, it isn't.
Oh dear, I'm out of steam. My antibiotics are wearing off. Why are you a proper lucky charm? Is that really a thing that you are?
Did someone say I'm a proper lucky charm? I think they're being sarcastic. I'm not a very lucky charm.
I've been told that you are.
No, you see, no. Well, it depends. I'm lucky. I'm a lucky gambler. I don't think I bring luck for other people.
Do you think that you are a lucky gambler? Victoria has made a hell of a lot of money playing poker professionally. Do you think that is it that you have a cool, calm temperament? Are you a good guesser?
Well, let me... the thing
how
is,
do you
you see,
win
there's
at that game
two
that
ways of being...
appears to be chance?
Well, I mean, it's not for me to say. I can only say, being English, vaguely, and a bit Polish. But you're the Johnny-come-lately. My family came from Poland in 1890. Don't you worry about that. But being to a great or lesser extent English, I can only say, oh, by sheer luck. I'm not lucky for other people, is I think what they may because of two things, which is one, I'm a bit frightened of flying, so I went to see a fear of flying counsellor, and he then died in a plane crash. So that was unfortunate.
I don't think that's the anecdote they had in mind.
Well,
It's a way of making a point, though, isn't it?
well, yeah, that was very unfortunate. And that was about, and this was actually a guy who said to me, knowing that I was a poker player, he said, now you've won a lot of money, playing card games you have, which would be another answer to your question, a good understanding of statistical risk, when to put a lot of money behind the odds being in your favour. That's the best you can do. That's what I suspect your brother was doing with the sumo.
Sure.
There's no guaranteed thing unless it was a videotape that he'd slipped in. But, you can only put the money on when the odds are in your favour and less when they're not.
13 in a row.
Yeah, something.
I know someone who bets a lot on sport, like he bets for a living, and that's his basic principle.
Yes.
If Manchester United are playing Worcester City at home in the cup, he'll bet every single penny he's got on the inevitable outcome. He won't bet when they're playing another Premier League
I mean, his
team,
problem is
because you're an idiot to do that.
His problem is because there isn't an inevitable outcome. There's a likely outcome. So, for a better example would be, for example, in a cricket match, you can bet on the toss. Just bet heads or tails, just a bit of fun, heads or tails, you can have a bet. And sometimes, because people like tails for some reason, sometimes you get odds. Just a shade, but you might get odds one way or the other. And obviously you must have this bet. A good gambler, if it's anything other than total evening money, you put as much money as you can get your hands on heads or tails, because it is 50-50. So, as I discussed with my fear of flying counsellor, who said, well, I tell you what, I'll have a bet with you, I fly quite a lot of the time, I will bet you that I will get to my 70th birthday without dying in a plane crash, and I will come to you on my 70th birthday and collect £10,000. However, if I die in a plane crash, I will...
Not collect the £10,000.
Write into my will that you will collect £10,000 as a result of this bet. And I said, don't be ridiculous, I'm not going to have this bet. And he said, well, there you go, that's because your rational mind knows there is no real danger. And look what happened. So...
Did you get it?
Well, I never had the bet. I mean, obviously, I'd have felt a bit terrible going to
you
collect it, I think.
mug.
But because
Saw you coming.
Well, I think that's quite interesting what you say, and I think it's interesting about you too, because you have a unique take on the world, and you're feisty about your appearance. You're feisty. I want to hear about when you were in America, and didn't one of the agents there say you were the wrong weight to be a comedian or something?
I met an American agent, and I'd gone out there to do my show, and he sits us down, and he's like, "How old are you?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm 29." He's like, "That's too old. That's really, really old. You need to be like 21 or 22." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I didn't want to change my age because it's taken me this long in comedy. Like, it's taken me a long time to get here. I feel like quite proud that I'm finally getting it. It's not like I woke up yesterday and decided to work in this game." And then he was like, "The only other problem that I see with you is this whole figure that you have. I'm sure in the UK it's adorable. But I need you to not eat for like a year." And I was like, "Oh shit." Oh wow.
You weren't trying to parachute, was you?
No. But he was like, "You're too old and you're too fat."
To be funny.
Or
To be-
not fat enough, surely, because you could have a
this
very
is the thing,
vacuum.
this
You're
is
out
the
the other end and be
So then
like a Rebel Wilson.
I did a showcase of a show, so I hired a little theatre, a little 60-seat theatre out there. And my agent at the time came up to me. I did a show 3 nights in a row. I did shows, and I died every night. They just didn't like. They just judge you in LA. Well, for me, they just judge. So they just look you up and down and judge you. And I was right, but probably went on stage. My agent at the time went, listen, Louisa, I had Sarah Silverman's manager in yesterday. So she said, you're too fat and you haven't got enough jokes, but I've got other people in there today, so why don't you go give it another shot? And I started crying. She's like, don't cry on me, don't fucking cry on me. You need to go up there and, you know, got people here to see you.
Your mum, your agent as well?
No.
Get on there! Quickly, help me! Get on there!
What's the fat jokes ratio? Is there a point where you've got enough jokes so you can be fat?
No, but you're not.
Or you're thin enough that you can get away with less jokes? I mean, it's like kind of...
You can't be-
My pitch for the show title is "You're too fat. You haven't got enough jokes."
That's a good
I
one.
mean, we've all heard that. Let's be honest. I like it.
But it was weird. So then I went on stage and I was really upset and I took my trousers down. And I was like, too fat for you. And I grabbed my stomach and I was like, bite me, bitches. And they were like, oh my God, she's amazing. I'm like, oh, fuck off.
I met Sarah Silverman in Montreal in 1995, right? It's 20 years ago. She's in her 20s. She's very, very attractive and funny and unusual. Anyway, I met her with a load of other comedians.
Did you kiss?
We didn't kiss. That would have been lovely, but no. No, we just chatted and had a laugh. And then the next night...
Sounds great, mate. Yeah.
It was great. We weren't alone. The next day, she said, she looked a bit down in the dumps. I said, you all right? She said, oh, my agent says my career's over. I said, why? Why do they say that to you? She said, because of what I did at Club Soda, which is the club where you do your showcase thing, right, Montreal Comedy Festival. I said, what did you do? She said, I put my finger in my vagina and I recited all the states of America in reverse alphabetical order.
Oh wow.
That's funny.
I said, I think your career's
you're
just
lovely.
beginning. That's one of the best things I've ever heard in my life. I said, did you get a laugh? She went,
Well, there's maybe the issue. I did Club Soda. I did 3 minutes too long, and they told me I'd never work in that town again. Because I was supposed to do 9, I did 12. Because they're a bit funny about the timing there.
Did you struggle on a couple of the states?